Let's hear from the most important people in the audience. That is the audience. uh, okay, that sounded a little awkward, but I think it does make sense. Let's go first. And by the way, we do calls via Discord on the Friday show. You can find the Discord at davidpakman.com/Discord. We're going to start with, oh, I don't know. How about Mark from Michigan? Mark from Michigan, welcome to the program. What's on your mind today?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So I wanted to ask you, do you think that the war that's happening in Gaza right now is going to have a genuine impact on whether Biden wins or loses the 2024 election? Because at the same time, there's, Project 2025, and I've been watching your videos and kind of like reading about like what could happen if Trump wins. And there was also an article by AP News that talked about the new Trump administration is looking at devaluing the dollar, which it's some pretty terrifying stuff. And just
But wait, Mark, is your question about those policies or about the Gaza thing affecting the election?
well, like about the Gaza thing affecting the election because I look at just like what could happen if Biden loses,
Oh, I gotcha.
and not only would it be worse for the country, but it would be worse for Gaza if Biden was to lose.
Listen, here's my view on this, and some people will disagree with me. I think that come November, the Gaza situation is not going to have a real impact on the results. When you poll people about what issues are most important to them, foreign policy is ranking very, very, very low. We also are faced with a reality that if you care about Gaza and the Palestinians and you think Biden hasn't been tough enough on Israel, RFK Jr. would be less tough on Israel. Trump would be less tough on Israel. So if your concern is who will be the toughest on Israel of the people who could be president, it's also Biden. So I hope and believe that it is not going to affect the outcome of November's election.
Okay, thank you. Can I also ask you a question about Project 2025?
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, what do you think like we would do if Trump was to win and he was to implement Project 2025? What's even the game plan for if that was to come to fruition?
I'm working
Because
on a proposal for what to do. So I want to I don't know the full answer right now. So let me finish up my proposal and then I'll bring it to you and we can discuss it because that's a critical question and I just don't have the answer right now. It's scary.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mark from Michigan, great to hear from you. Why don't we go next to Scruffy from Phoenix? Scruffy from Phoenix, welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you, David. First off, happy Passover.
Thank you.
Second off, I wanted to know what your thoughts are and how we can further the normalization of non-binary and genderqueer identities and pronouns, and especially I present very masculine, but I identify as non-binary. I live in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Turning Point is here, CPAC, all that stuff. So what do you think we can be doing as a society to further this normalization?
You know, I would really defer to folks in that community first and foremost in terms of what can or should be done. One thing I will say is, in my experience, crowbarring pronoun declarations into everything doesn't seem to really be helping. And by this, I mean, I was recently on a call with a few people about issues that have nothing to do, obviously, with gender identity or anything like that. And right up front, everybody declared pronouns. And I just didn't feel the need to declare mine. I'm just sort of like, make your best guess. And if you're wrong, I'll correct you. But that sort of thing, I heard from my sister about this happening in some classes she was in at the beginning, but then the school got away from it because that doesn't seem to be helping. I don't know if you would agree. Just like the pronoun declarations everywhere. What do you think?
So I work at I'm a music teacher, or an instrument instructor, and at the school that I work at, my pronouns are very visible. I have my pronouns on my name tag. So I think pronouns are very important, and I do understand how it can be tiresome.
Mm.
But for myself, for those who take pride in ourselves, I think it is important um to share your pronouns and to
That I totally
establish
get.
that.
So I think, as you said you present very masculine, but you identify as non-binary. So it makes 100% sense to me that you would want to communicate that to other folks. I think where there's been some resistance is the idea of everyone must declare pronouns rather than, like, for example, I would want to hear from you. Let's say I was a teacher, right? Like when I taught class, if you were in the class, I would definitely want you to tell me, here's how I want to be referred to. I don't know on a percentage basis that if there's 30 people in the class and there's one non-binary individual, I don't know that I need to make the other 29 students declare pronouns. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think that's where sometimes.
I totally understand what
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
saying.
That's all I mean. But beyond that, in
Yeah.
terms of acceptance, I mean, listen, this is sort of like society moves over time. And for a while, this was the question that gay men were asking about. How are we going to have acceptance for the fact that it's two dudes and we're on a date. And right now it doesn't seem to be visibly accepted by society. What can we do? I don't know what we can do, except I have a sort of like live and let live attitude. You know what I mean? I'm not judging people and I'm not making people feel uncomfortable. And my hope is that over time, we will stop seeing the trans community scapegoated in the way that at one point it was gay men. And, at different times in society, it's been different groups.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And just an aside, someone I work with thought that they and them were nicknames for me as well. So I thought that was a little funny.
Yeah, that's that. I don't know what to make of that, but listen, Scruffy, I appreciate the call, and let's keep on keeping on. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Scruffy from Phoenix. Great to hear from you. Let's go next to Zach from Florida. Zach from Florida, who wants to talk about abortion. Go ahead, Zach. What's going on?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, David. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. This is kind of one of those situations where you kind of don't really want to give any advice to Republicans, but seems sort of like one way that they could maybe thread the needle that they find themselves in at the moment is to, try to have their limitations, which I'm not saying that I agree with, but then also work to propose legislation to actually help mothers who maybe would have wanted an abortion, but because it would have been hard for them to raise the child, but maybe they could just, try to better the situation for childcare and help for mothers after the child's actually born.
Yeah, lots of, you hear this a lot, particularly from anti-choice Christian groups where they say, we need churches and other community groups to provide the help that these mothers would need because then they would feel more equipped to handle having a baby and be less likely to pursue an abortion. The problem is that it's great for church groups to provide whatever they want to provide. That's totally fine. As a matter of policy, the very same Republican Party that opposes abortion being legal in many cases also votes against increasing the child tax credit, providing more paid leave to mother and father, all of the things that would make that easier. Exactly. So for me, it's not a substitute. You can't use that as a reason to justify taking bodily and medical autonomy away from women, number one. And number two, they don't put their money where their mouths are because they say that and then they vote against all of those sorts of proposals. So I think that they're empty promises too.
Yes, exactly. It seems like it could be something that they could adopt, which is, as we know, is popular, but quite resistant to it on both ends.
100%.
Yes. That's all.
All
That'd
right,
be interesting.
Zach from Florida, a very good point and great to hear from you. Paper towels are one of the biggest contributors to deforestation in the United States. That's why I use bamboo paper towels from our sponsor, Real Paper. Just like all of Real's products, their paper towels are free of inks, dyes, and BPAs and are 100% tree-free. All the packaging is plastic-free, even down to the tape on the box. Before I discovered Real Paper, I tried a few different sustainable paper towel options over the years. They were either flimsy, had no absorption power, they felt cheap, like something in airport bathrooms, yet somehow they were still outrageously expensive. Real's paper towels are 50% thicker, more absorbent than the leading sustainable brand. The sheets are 2-ply for extra absorbency, and thanks to the strength of bamboo, they can hold the toughest messes. Real partners with the organization One Tree Planted. With every box of Real you buy, they are funding reforestation efforts all across the country. So unlike the other paper towels that cut down the trees, Real is actively helping to plant them. Go to realpaper.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman for 30% off and free shipping. The link is down below.